Hey everybody, Andrew Hogue here, your security, privacy, and forensics expert. And I'm on to the next part of my Simple Hacker newsreader using GitHub Copilot. What I'm going to do now that I set up my repos and I've set up my GitHub Actions to kick off different automated security scans, I'm now going to create my first branch and then take some of the code that I wrote previously with the help of GitHub and just incorporate that into my new branch and then push it up to the repo, and hopefully everything will kick off scans and go accordingly. So let's dive right in. I have a couple of cheat sheets that I use since I'm not a regular Git user, but since I have Copilot, I'm just going to go ahead and cheat and ask it, how do I create a new Git branch? Okay, so this is similar to what's on their cheat sheet. So you can Git branch the name, and then I think that will auto check it out, but perhaps not. And then we'll have to check out to the branch, and then you can create it, okay, all in one. So this is actually how I used to do it. I think there's also a new way with switching, but let's just kind of stick with this right here. So I'm going to open up my terminal and let's go ahead and create a new branch, and then we'll give it a branch name of import existing code. Now it also said that it actually switched to the new branch, and you can just kind of see here, depending on how you have your shell set up, that I went from being in main to being in the import existing code. So I'm going to go ahead and start making my changes, and as I've mentioned earlier, it just seems so much easier to use Xcode to create certain files and things of that sort. So if you recall back to the earlier ones, I have multiple folders or groups. So we have one for view, we have one for model view, and then we have one for model. And then I've just opened up the previous project in a terminal window, and so we can kind of see those folders here. We've got model, model view, view, and then we have the content view. So if I just put this guy to screen here, I'm going to grab this code real quick and pop it over into Xcode. Now this is actually going to cause everything to break because we don't actually have these different views. So you can see we've got some errors here. So we need a news view, search, account, and settings. So let's come over here to view, create a new file, Swift UI view, call it news view, and make sure it is in this target and in the view group or folder. So we've got a news view. And then we want to create a search view. An account view. And then a settings view. So if we come back to this guy, let's see, search account. Okay, awesome. So now we've got all these guys at the bottom. Now let's come back over here and let's go into the models. And what I did last time was I had a top stories model, and after I thought about that more, that's just silly. Top stories is one type of story. So really all I want is the StoriesSwift for right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And so I'm going to go ahead and just copy this in. And we're going to create a new file. And this will be a Swift file. And we'll call this, I believe it's just called, yeah, story.swift. And that's going to go into model. Okay. So, and then let's go ahead and paste this in. So now we've got our model. We've got our views. Now, I don't remember exactly what I did with the different views. So let's take a look at that. So for the most part, I just changed the text on them. But of course, if you recall from the other parts inside the news view, we actually did some work with the models to create the different stories and have them come in. So I'm just going to come in here real quick and change this. search results. Let's call this count. Let's call this app settings. And then on the news view, let's come back here and take a look. So we create a state object for the top stories model view, but I'm going to change that up probably. So if you take a look at some of the old code, I had a little bit in there where I was testing a few things, but really the only thing that matters is the top stories model view. And again, because I've kind of thought a little bit differently about it, I really feel like it should just be the stories model view should effectively have this code. And right now we're passing in top stories hard coded, but we can go ahead and refactor that at a later time. So what I'm going to do is create a stories model view, and then I'm going to just copy this code in. So let's create a new Swift file. Let's call this stories model view. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. Now we're going to have a couple of problems. So first of all, Firebase doesn't exist. We have to go back and re-add that. And then we do have a story, so that'll work. And I think the rest of this will actually work. Now when we come into the news view though, we want to create that new state object, and instead of calling it the top stories model view, we want to call it the stories model view. Let's put this in here, and then let's just call this stories model view. This should be stories model view. And then let's change this to tops. Let's call this HN stories. Okay, let's see if that will render. And we're still gonna have the problem with Firebase. So this failed. Let's come back to this content view. And I think the Firebase is actually going to be the problem here. So we're actually gonna have to go resolve that. Yep, no Firebase. So we'll come in here, add packages, and I wonder if we can just search for Firebase. Yep, it's automatically going to find the iOS Firebase. So we want to add packages. And then the big lesson from last time was we don't actually want the Firestore. We're just going to use the standard Firebase database. Okay, so we don't want the analytics. I think we want Firebase database, and that's probably all we need. I'm not sure what the FirebaseDatabaseSwift, and maybe we could just go ask Copilot real quick. Okay, I mean, it might be possible to use FirebaseDatabaseSwift in a refactor, because I kind of like the fact that it has type systems built in. But right now, just because I want to get everything up and working the way that it was in the past, I'm going to see if I can just get away with just Firebase database. So let's go ahead and add that package. Now, the one other thing that we did last time was we had to add the app delegate. And obviously, we're going to have to do that again. So let's come back here and take a look at the previous code. So we import Firebase Core and Firebase Firestore. We don't need that anymore. So hopefully we can get by with just Firebase Core or maybe Firebase Database, not really sure. We're going to create this app delegate, and then we're going to create this delegate inside the app itself. So let's go ahead and snag all of this code, and then we can modify it. Okay, so first of all, let's get rid of Firestore. We've got the Firebase app. We registered the delegate. And then let's see if we are able to render. All right, we failed to build, cannot find story model view in scope, cannot find Firestore in scope. So it looks like I actually didn't save my old code, which is terrible. So let's create, let's say, connect to Hacker News API with Firebase Database. Pull top 500 stories. Oh, this is funny. I'm sitting in Xcode and expecting Copilot to autocomplete, and it's not going to do that. So let's come back here. Let's go ahead and open up our code. Let's go into our model view, and then let's go ahead and pop these comments in. Okay, so let database equal database reference. That's again pretty close, but we need child variable, yep, top stories. And then like we said last time, we're gonna need the URL parameter here. And then I'm gonna see, it doesn't look like it's gonna autocomplete that for me. So, okay. And then we don't want the observe. So let's pull this comment and let's see what happens if we ask it to pull the top 500 stories. Okay. Query limited to first 500, observe single event, yep, snapshot, and now we're going to lose the error handling that we put in there last time, but let's see what we've got. So we've got, well, first of all, let's accept this. So now we've got the story IDs, snapshot, and then we have an ID, a title, and a URL coming down. And then actually, this is going to break because this is not actually complete code. Oh, actually, it probably is complete code. We just don't have word wrap on. So, all right, it's going to pull in all of this information, and then it's going to append it. And then last time we did a print story. And then, again, this will crash if we don't have everything that we need coming back. So we'll have to put the error handling back in. Let's take a look and see. See if we can force build this. So we're no longer using Firestore, so we really shouldn't be getting this error. StoriesModelView is not in scope. And then so yeah, this guy really needs, I think, a snapshot and an error. Well, quick note to self, deleting your code before you've actually copied it over is a really bad idea. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, finish copying over the code that hopefully I have sitting somewhere, and then we'll kind of get started and merge this branch in and see what happens. All right, thanks so much for watching, and until next time.